Hello, hello. We are live. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to AI NOVALUME. I'm Lakeisha Brooks, founder of AI NOVALUME, where I help medical spas and aesthetic clinics stop losing patients to missed calls and after-hour inquiries with AI receptionists that improve efficiency, elevate patient experiences, and support stronger practice growth through strategy, clarity, and heart. If you're new here, welcome. Today, we're going to do something a little different. So, we're going to go inside a realistic patient conversations to see AI in action. You'll see how AI can respond to treatment questions, guide patients toward consultations, and communicate more naturally. So I'll show you how something very different. And AI isn't just about getting answers. No, no, no. It's about designing how AI communities or communicates, how it guides, and when it should involve a human. So let's stop talking about AI and actually watch it work. So let's get started. So, okay, so I have opened ChatGPT and I am going to paste in this prompt so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So this says, I have lines around my forehead. Which treatment should I get? And so this is just a basic question from a fictitious patient. So let's see with what Uncle Chatty, which I like to call it, well, let's see what Uncle Chatty yields. Okay, so this one is pretty simple, like I said. Now, here's what's interesting about this. The patient is asking for a specific recommendation here, but an AI receptionist shouldn't pretend to examine the patient. Wouldn't you agree with me? It shouldn't diagnose them either. It shouldn't promise results either. Instead, we want the AI to acknowledge the concern. We want it to provide helpful information appropriately, and we want it to guide the patient toward the next step. So let's see what that looks like in real practice now. So let's see. I am also going to copy and paste this prompt because it is very long. So it's much longer. Okay, so look at what it yields. So you notice how the response actually works. It acknowledges the patient's concern first, right? It provides general information appropriately as well, but it doesn't pretend to know exactly what treatment they need. That's very important here because the AI is helping without crossing a professional boundary, and then it creates a natural step, a consultation with a provider involved. That's exactly what we want here. Helpful guidance first, clear direction next, and no overstepping whatsoever. Okay. So this is the second demo. So I'm going to paste in this patient's next question. And you can see here that the patient has received an answer from the question, I'd like to schedule a consultation. What information do you need? So this shows that they're interested now and they're ready to take that next step. So, and this is where the conversation becomes more action oriented now. The patient is no longer just asking a question, they're showing intent. And that's where an AI receptionist can help things move forward. So, let's see how it actually responds. Hopefully you're reading along, but I am going to add more to this prompt. And this one too is a bit long, so I am going to have to copy and paste this one too. Okay, this is pretty long. Okay, so let me make sure you guys can see this. Okay, perfect. You can. Okay, just making sure. Okay, so now notice what I want you to notice here is that the patient doesn't have to figure out what comes next, right? The AI can explain the information needed clearly, name and contact information first, preferred timing next, reason for visit as well. That creates a smoother patient experience. But there's another important point here. AI should never invent information whatsoever. If it's connected to scheduling, it can work with actual availability. If it isn't connected, it shouldn't pretend that it booked an appointment. It needs to be honest about what it can actually do. And that's part of responsible design. Okay. So this is another patient question. The next one. Okay, so now we're changing the direction completely. This conversation is different from before. The patient says, I had a treatment yesterday. Now I have swelling and pain. Is this normal? So, this is where the AI needs to recognize that we're dealing with a potential health concern. This isn't the place for AI to guess. It shouldn't diagnose. It shouldn't tell the patient, don't worry either. It shouldn't automatically say everything is normal. Instead, the response should acknowledge the patient's concern first. It should encourage appropriate follow up instead. And it should recognize when symptoms may require urgent attention too. So let's see how we can structure that response now. Okay, so let me paste this prompt in. Very long. Again, I like long. So, okay, so this is a very important distinction because the AI is still helpful here. It's still responsive. It's still empathetic, but it knows its role very clearly. And the AI isn't making a clinical decision here. It's helping the patient understand what to do next. And that next step may involve a human provider. That's not a failure of AI in the least bit. That's actually a good sign right here. And this is called good design. Okay, the best AI systems know when to step aside. Okay, so now let's talk about something that can completely change the patient experience. The way AI communicates with patients, because accurate doesn't always mean comfortable. And you could give someone the right information and still make the experience feel cold. And who wants that? I know I don't. And nobody wants that experience, of course, especially in a patient centered business environment. So let's give the AI some direction now, some more direction. We're going to tell it exactly how we want it to communicate. Okay. I think this is actually my favorite part of designing AI products, because it's kind of all in the how. Okay, I'm going to paste this. Okay, now you see the difference here. The information isn't overcomplicated either. The language is approachable and clear because I asked for it to respond in a certain tone and attitude. And so the patient knows what to expect beforehand, and that's so important because patients aren't just looking for information alone. They're also looking for confidence too. They want to feel comfortable asking questions openly. I know we can all attest to that, most definitely. They want to know that someone is listening very carefully. And when we can design AI to communicate with that in mind intentionally, that is gold. So that's where prompt design becomes so powerful for practices. We're not just telling AI what to answer, we're teaching it how to communicate. I hope this makes sense. Okay, so now let's just pause really quickly. So think about the conversations we just had or we just watched unfold today. We started with treatment questions first, then we moved into scheduling next. Then we handled a patient concern. And finally, we changed the communication style completely. Those are very different situations, but they all require the same thing underneath. Intentional design matters. The AI needs clear instructions always, because I know a lot of people, they'll type something into whatever AI tool they're working with. And if it doesn't yield what they're expecting, they get angry with the AI. And it's all about, good input equals good output. So if you put in junk, you're going to get junk, right? If you put in golden nuggets, you're going to get golden nuggets back. I love that. So it needs appropriate boundaries as well, but it needs the right context too. And so it needs to understand when a human should be involved. That's why I wouldn't recommend simply dropping a generic AI tool into your practice. No, no, no. You need to think through the conversations carefully. You need to think through the patient experience too. That's my favorite, actually. And you need to think through the handoffs. That's what makes the difference between using AI casually and implementing AI strategically instead. So here's the main point today. AI should support the human experience. It shouldn't make patients feel like they're talking to a machine. It shouldn't pretend to be a clinician either. It shouldn't replace the people responsible for patient care. Instead, it should make communication easier. It should help patients get answers and quickly. It should help them understand their next step. And it should know when a conversation needs a human, when it should relay it to a human. That's the sweet spot here. So technology handling what a technology does well. Technology handling what technology does well. People handling what people do best. And the patient gets a better experience because those two things work together so naturally. So I just want to thank you so much for spending your part of your day with me today. And if you made it this far, you are a soldier. I know you're busy, and I truly appreciate you choosing to spend part of your day with me again. If you found today's conversation valuable, I'd love for you to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're watching from YouTube, please do subscribe to the channel. And if you know another medical spa or aesthetic clinic or practice manager who could benefit from this conversation, please share this episode with them. Every week here on AI NovaLume, we'll explore practical AI strategies, real world business solutions, and innovative ways to help medical spas and aesthetic clinics grow with confidence. Because AI doesn't have to replace the human experience at all when designed well, it can actually support it. And that's the sweet spot. Until next time, be kind, work smarter, serve patients better, grow with AI. Again, I'm Lakeisha Brooks. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.